Shah, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. The topic which I am going to discuss today is an introduction to object-oriented analysis and design. Object-oriented analysis and design is a software development approach. It involves using object-oriented concepts to design and implement software system. In short, we can tell that it models a system as a group of objects. It involves a number of techniques and practices including object-oriented programming, design, UML diagrams, and use cases. Objects represent some real-world entity, and it has its own attributes as well as operation. Here are two objects, an employee and a book. And each object has its own identity, behavior, as well as state. So for the first object, an employee, the identity is Mr. John, and the behaviors for John as well as Richard. The state for the particular object Mr. John is John or Richard. The next object is a book, in which the identity for this book is object-oriented analysis and design. And it has a behavior as examples and the states of the book can be edited or it is available or it can be reserved. Object-oriented analysis and design is a software engineering methodology and it uses some object-oriented concepts to design and implement software systems. Here are some of the object-oriented design concepts. The first one is object. Object is an instance of a class. Classes has a description of set of objects that share some attributes, operations, methods of relationships, and semantics. And next comes the messages. So messages are pure objects communicate within among themselves inside a program with the help of message passing. The next one is data abstraction. Here essential details are stored up and the irrelevant details are hidden. And the next object-oriented concept is encapsulation. Wrapping up of data and number functions into a simple unit is called encapsulation. The next object-oriented concept is inheritance. Here, a new class is derived from an already existing class by using inheritance. The last one is polymorphism. The ability to take more than one form is called polymorphism. By using these concepts, object-oriented concepts, a software can be analyzed and it can be designed. For designing software, we need a language. The one such language is called UML. UML is Unified Modeling Language. What is this unified? So this unified is a standard. UML has become a world standard object management tool. It has been recognized by this OMG. And that's why this called as unified. Modeling is it describes the software system at a higher level of abstraction. Language, it is not only a methodology but it expresses some idea. That's why it is called as a unified modeling language. So what is this UML? It is an industry standard graphical language for specifying, visualizing, constructing and documenting the abstract software system. And it uses mostly graphical notations to express the object-oriented analysis and design of software projects. It simplifies the complex process of software design. The purpose of using UML is it simply uses graphical notations and it is more clear than natural language and coding. It helps to understand an overall view of the system and it is not dependent on any one language or technology. It moves from fragmentation to standardization. The various types of UML diagrams are use case diagram, class diagram, sequence diagram, followed by collaboration diagram, next comes the state machine diagram, activity diagram, component diagram, next deployment diagram, and the last one is package diagram. It is not restricted to all these types of UML diagrams, there are more UML diagrams too. The first UML diagram that we are going to see is use case diagram. Use case has a set of use cases. So what is this use case? So this use case is a model of the interaction between external users of a software product, that is we call it as actors, and the software product itself. So this actor it plays a specific role in use case diagram. So the next one is the use cases describes a set of user scenarios, capturing the user requirements. So it gives an interaction between a user and the software developers. So this is an example of a use case diagram for a library management system. This is an actor. Here on the left side we have an actor, this is client. And on the right side we have employee as the supervisor. Client is a primary actor and employee and supervisors are secondary actors. Your library system is a system that acts in between the primary actor and the secondary actor. These primary actor and secondary actor are separated from the system by using a system boundary. So the rectangle shows the system boundary. So here the client is the primary actor. This primary actor may be a student or a faculty member. This particular primary actor sees a library for borrowing a book. So a librarian, who is the secondary actor, may give the book to the student or a particular staff member. And he is responsible for ordering the title, ordering the books, and he will just take the books for a particular library. And if the particular student fails to return the book within a particular time limit, then he has to pay penalty. So fine evidence has to be given to the library, and that those things will be monitored by the supervisor. So this is an example for a library management system. Now, what is an actor? So as I told before, there are two actors. They play a specific role. One is primary actor and another one is secondary actor. So what role is that the user plays with respect to the system, including human users and other systems. The notation for the actor is this one. This is the notation for an actor. Next comes the use case. So use case describes a set of scenarios during interaction between a user and a system, including alternatives. This is the approximation for an use case. Next comes the system boundary. A rectangle shows the boundary between the actors and the system. There are various relationships in our use case diagram. One such relationship is association. Association is represented by a solid line. It provides or shows the communication between an actor and a use case. Next comes generalization. Generalization is represented by a line with a triangular arrowhead towards the base use case. It provides the relationship between one reasonable use case and a special use case. And there are two next relationship include as well as extend. So include is a dotted line labeled by include within a base use case and within with an arrows pointing to the include use case. Include is the use case is needed to be, or if it is mandated to be included, then you can use the include notation. And if it is optional, or if you want to extend a particular use case with some additional behavior, then extend relationship can be used. This is another example for the use case diagram. That is for a clinic. Here the primary actor who is going to a clinic is a patient, and the secondary actor is a scheduler, a doctor or a clerk. A patient goes to the hospital for booking an appointment. You have to meet the doctor. So we can either book the appointment, or due to some personal conditions, personal circumstances, we can cancel the appointment. So all these things, taking an appointment, cancelling an appointment, are managed by the scheduler. And here comes the patient record. He has to include the patient record in his appropriate file so that he can meet the doctor with, for requesting medication. Once after seeing the doctor, he has to pay the bill. And here we have the table. And sometimes for future treatment, or if the person wants to go for more treatment, this particular use case can be extended using some extension points. And for example is for bill insurance. So now this becomes the parent use case and this becomes the child use case. Here this parent use case, from the parent use case, a child use case has been derived. So here there is a relationship called generalization, and this is the extension point. Now let's see the practical session of drawing a use case diagram using MusicChart. So just go to the browser, open Google and type MusicChart. So you can open MusicChart website. And here you can sign up for free. When you sign up for free, you can use 3 use case diagrams free. Free of cost. 3 use case diagrams. So this is the website, and you can use 3 use case diagrams free of cost. So now we go for free. Start free. So now it asks for the username sign up account. So you can easily log in using your Google email ID. draw a tray of plastic. So these are the recent documents. These are the documents in which you can see three diagrams. These are the diagrams which I have drawn before. So one such diagram is the use case diagram. This is a use case diagram in which you can draw by using the tools over here. This is the use case diagram for a banking app. And next use case diagram, this I have drawn the class diagram by using this use case usage chart. This is class diagram.